Food industry experts compiled this list of foods they say we should never eat.
Before now, experts have shared lists of foods people should avoid. But Elon Musk's recent comments take it further. According to him, once you discover how these 20 foods are made, you won't want to eat them again. His comment revealed secrets the food industry tries to hide.
Yet they're the kinds of sugary cereals children beg for at the grocery store.
But what are these 20 foods? Join us as we uncover the foods you'll never want to eat again after knowing how they're made. Packaged ground beef. Packaged ground beef looks innocent when you lift it from the supermarket freezer. Red and neat and promising a juicy meal, it feels like pure meat. But the truth hiding inside that plastic can shock you. The ground beef section is crowded with choices, which makes it hard to know what you are really buying. Many packs contain something known as lean, finely textured beef, often nicknamed pink slime. This is not regular steak scraps. It comes from leftover trimmings blasted through speed machines to squeeze out fat, then misted with ammonia gas to kill bacteria like E. coli and salmonella. The paste is blended back into normal meat without a clear warning on the label. That trick saves companies money and keeps the product sitting longer on shelves. Health agencies claim it is safe, so no special notice is required when it fills your burger. Elon Musk confirmed it is already everywhere. Imagine biting into a burger, unaware of the chemical bath behind it. That is only the start. The next foods may rewrite how you trust your plate. Processed fruit juice. Processed fruit juice might look like a burst of vitamins in a bottle, but don't be fooled by the colorful labels and fake promises of real fruit. Most of what you're drinking has been dragged through a factory process that strips away everything your body actually needs. Here is how the trick works. First, real fruit juice is sucked dry of its water and nutrients, turned into a syrupy concentrate, and dumped into industrial storage tanks. Months later, it's brought back to life with tap water. To make this zombie juice taste remotely fruity, manufacturers drown it in sugar, fake flavors, and chemical preservatives. What you're left with is a sugary potion dressed up as health food. The fiber is gone, the vitamins mostly destroyed, but the sugar is sky high. Each sip sends your blood sugar into chaos while doing nothing to actually feed your body. And if you're drinking the cheap stuff, there may not even be real fruit involved, just lab-made flavors and food dye designed to taste like fruit without ever touching a tree. Drink enough of it and you're on the fast track to weight gain. Instant ramen. Instant ramen looks like the ultimate comfort meal. It is cheap, quick, and warm. But under that hot bowl is an unhealthy meal pretending to be something quick and harmless. The noodles? They're not just dried, they're flash fried in industrial oil, giving them a long shelf life, but also soaking them in trans fats that quietly clog your arteries and inflame your body. Each strand is a tiny sponge of unhealthy oil just waiting to be revived. Now that flavor packet, don't let the size fool you. It's a salt bomb. One pack can deliver over half your daily sodium in minutes. Add in artificial flavor enhancers like MSG, preservatives, and strange chemicals you can't pronounce. And what you're really eating is science, not soup. Nutrition-wise, it's a hollow bite. There's almost no fiber, no real protein, and barely a trace of vitamins or minerals. Your stomach might feel full, but your cells stay starving. Over time, this meal becomes a silent burden, raising your blood pressure, stressing your organs, and leaving your body begging for actual food. Instant ramen may be fast, but so is the damage it leaves behind. Packaged bread. That soft, fluffy loaf of bread sitting on supermarket shelves isn't as harmless as it looks. Behind its perfect shape and long shelf life is a strange and unsettling story. To make bread rise faster, stay soft longer, and look just right, many companies add a chemical called L-cysteine. But here's the shocking part. L-cysteine has often been made using things like human hair from salon floors, duck feathers, pig bristles, and even cow horns. Yes, that normal slice of toast could have ingredients linked to barbershops or farm animals. Even though it's legal and widely used, the source of L-cysteine is never written on the label. Some brands now use lab-made or bacteria-based versions. But again, you won't know which one is in your bread. Fast food chains also use it in their buns to save time and money. To make it worse, some large bread suppliers have been caught in price-fixing scandals, secretly raising prices while hiding strange additives in their products. Packaged bread might already seem bad enough, but trust me, it's just the beginning. Wait until you hear the next food on this list. Spam. Spam may have a loyal fan base, but the truth behind that soft pink block is far from tasty. It starts with pork shoulder and ham, but once the meat is ground up, things get strange. Mixed in are salt, water, sugar, modified potato starch, and sodium nitrite, the chemical that gives Spam its bright pink color. The meat mix is packed into cans, sealed and cooked until it becomes shelf-stable for years. That long shelf life sounds handy, but it comes with a cost. Each can is loaded with salt, sometimes more than you should eat in a whole day. Sodium nitrite helps stop bacteria from growing, but when heated, it can turn into harmful substances linked to serious health problems. Eating Spam too often can lead to high blood pressure, heart issues, and slow weight gain over time. It may look like a simple, easy meal, but it's really a highly processed product made to last, not to nourish. Behind that shiny can is a food that's more lab experiment than lunch. And once you know, it's hard to look at it the same way again. Breakfast cereals. Breakfast cereals may look like a healthy way to start the day, but behind those bright boxes is a processed mess. Most cereals are made using a harsh method called extrusion. This means grains are crushed into a paste, then forced through machines using high heat and pressure. What comes out are neat shapes like flakes and loops, but with most of the real nutrients destroyed. What's left is just a shell of the original grain. To cover this up, companies add fake vitamins to replace what was lost. Then they load the cereal with sugar, especially the ones for kids. Some cereals have just as much sugar as candy bars. That sweet crunch, it's often full of fake colors, chemical flavors, and other additives that can affect your body. Some food dyes have even been linked to hyperactivity in children. And because the cereal has little real nutrition, your body burns through it fast, leaving you tired and hungry again soon after. Plumped chicken. Plumped chicken is pumped full of salt water, sometimes mixed with sugar, starch, and natural flavors, all to make it look bigger, juicier, and more appetizing. But what you're really buying is water weight and a sodium bomb dressed up as dinner. A single plumped piece can carry more salt than a small bag of chips, up to 500 milligrams per breast. That's not just deceptive, it's dangerous. Over time, this sneaky sodium loads your body with hidden risks: high blood pressure, bloating, water retention, and long-term heart damage. The worst part is that the labels don't make it clear. Instead, they use soft words like enhanced, contains broth, or up to 15% solution. Sounds harmless, right? But it's not. It means the chicken has been pumped with salty water. This liquid is pushed deep into the meat to make it weigh more and look juicy. So you're actually paying more for water, not just chicken. But if you think plump chicken is bad, wait till you see the next ones. Some are way worse and still hiding in plain sight. Keep watching. Commercial ice cream. That smooth, creamy scoop of commercial ice cream may look like a harmless treat, but the truth is far from sweet. Behind the colorful tubs are ingredients most people can't even pronounce. To keep ice cream soft, thick, and shelf-stable, companies use chemicals like carrageenan, mono and diglycerides, and polysorbate 80. These aren't there to help you. They're added to make cheap ice cream feel richer and last longer. Carrageenan comes from seaweed, but it's been linked to stomach problems like bloating and inflammation. Then come the artificial flavors and colors, fake versions of fruit and chocolate with no real ingredients in sight. And let's not forget the sugar. Some brands cram in more sugar than a soda can. Kids may react to food dyes with hyperactivity or mood swings, and parents often don't realize it's more than just too much sugar. Compared to homemade ice cream with real milk, cream, and simple flavors, the store-bought version starts to look more like a science experiment than dessert. Chicken nuggets. Many commercial nuggets begin with a grim process called mechanical separation, where what's left after the good cuts are taken is shoved through a high-pressure machine. What comes out isn't meat as you know it, but a pinkish paste made from skin, sinew, cartilage, and other scraps you'd never willingly chew on. This slurry is then doctored with salt, sugar, modified starches, phosphates, and artificial flavors to give it the illusion of actual food. To make this paste palatable, it's shaped into perfect little forms, dipped in bread, then flash-fried in oil that's often reused far too many times. Even nuggets made from so-called whole muscle meat are rarely just chicken. They're still pumped with preservatives and texturizers to keep them tasting fresh for weeks. What ends up on your plate is more lab work than real food. Behind that crispy outside is a mix of stuff made to hook you, not to feed you well. Once you find out what's really in it, each bite feels fake, like a trick dressed up as a childhood treat. Cochineal extract. Cochineal extract hides in plain sight, often disguised as natural red or carmine on food labels. But there's nothing gentle about how it's made. To produce just a small batch of this vivid red dye, manufacturers grind up tens of thousands of dried female cochineal insects, bugs that live on cacti, and are scraped off by the sack. Their crushed bodies release a deep crimson pigment, which then finds its way into strawberry yogurts, fruit juices, jelly candies, and even lipsticks and pills. Yes, you've probably eaten or worn bug dye without even realizing it. And while it's technically natural, cochineal extract has been linked to allergic flare-ups, including hives, swelling, and in rare cases, anaphylaxis. The body doesn't care whether a substance came from a plant or a pulverized insect when it decides to react. Some companies have started removing it from products, but many still use it quietly, banking on the idea that most people won't read the fine print. Farmed shrimp. Shrimp are raised in overcrowded, dirty ponds where thousands are packed together. Because they live in such tight, filthy spaces, they get sick often. To stop them from dying, farmers feed them strong antibiotics, so much that those drugs can stay in the shrimp when you eat them. Over time, this can make your body less able to fight infections, but it's not just your health at risk. To build these shrimp farms, people destroy mangrove forests, coastal trees that protect the land from floods and storms. Without them, coastlines are left weak and wildlife lose their homes. Even worse, the dirty water from the shrimp ponds, filled with chemicals and waste, flows into nearby rivers and seas, polluting everything. On top of all this, many workers on these farms work long hours with little protection, handling toxic substances with bare hands. So when you eat farmed shrimp, you're eating something raised in a soup of antibiotics, chemicals, and suffering. But it is definitely not the only harmful food out there. What comes next might shock you even more. Swordfish. Swordfish might look like a fancy seafood choice, but behind that thick slice of meat is a silent danger you can't see or taste. As one of the top hunters in the ocean, swordfish spends years eating smaller fish, and with every bite, it builds up mercury in its body. Not just any mercury, but methyl mercury, a powerful poison that hides in its flesh. This toxic metal can slowly damage the brain and nervous system, especially in unborn babies, children, and people who eat it often. Just a few servings over time can quietly add up in your body. Yes, swordfish has protein and omega-3s, but the harm often outweighs the good. Experts warn people to stick to smaller fish like sardines or mackerel. These little guys still give you the nutrients you need, but with way less mercury. Swordfish might look like a strong, healthy catch, but it carries a heavy price. You won't find this warning on the label, but once you know, it's hard to forget. Non-dairy creamer. Non-dairy creamer is often chosen to make coffee creamier, especially by those who can't handle dairy. But what you don't see is a mix of hidden dangers. These creamers usually contain corn syrup solids for sweetness and vegetable oils that are sometimes partially hydrogenated. This means they carry trans fats strongly linked to heart disease, inflammation, and other serious health problems. Even small amounts over time can be harmful. On top of that, artificial flavors and colors are added to mimic real cream, causing allergic reactions or discomfort in some people. Instead of a simple creamy addition, you're actually pouring a blend of sweeteners, chemicals, and harmful fats into your cup. Compared to fresh milk, half and half, or cleaner plant-based alternatives, non-dairy creamers are heavily processed and offer no real nutrition. Once you know what's really in them, your everyday coffee routine might feel a lot less innocent. Fish with fishy additives. Some fish in stores look clean, fresh, and firm, but that glow is often fake. Many packaged fish and seafood are soaked in a chemical called sodium triphosphate. It's not added for your health or taste. It's used to make the fish look thicker, shinier, and heavier. But here's the trick. Sodium triphosphate makes fish absorb extra water, so what you're really buying is water dressed up as fish. You're paying more for less nutrition. When cooked, the water seeps out, leaving soft, mushy meat with very little flavor. Even worse, sodium triplophosphate isn't always clearly listed on the label, so you probably won't know it's there. This chemical is also used in cleaning products and detergents. Yes, the same kind used to scrub floors. While it's allowed in food in small amounts, long-term exposure may cause problems, including possible effects on the brain. Some experts say it's better to ask for dry fish that hasn't been treated with chemicals. And believe it or not, fish with fishy additives isn't the worst thing you could be eating. What's next might leave you speechless. Canned mushrooms. According to Food and Drug Administration rules, small insects, larvae, and even maggots are allowed in your mushrooms as long as they don't go over the legal limit. Since mushrooms grow in damp soil, they attract bugs before harvest, and even with cleaning and cooking, not all of them are removed. So instead of banning these creepy extras, the law simply allows a safe amount in each can. That means when you open that smooth-looking can, you could be spooning out tiny insect parts without even knowing. It's considered safe, but it doesn't change the fact that you might be chewing on more than mushrooms. Most people would never knowingly eat worms or bugs, but with canned mushrooms, that might already be happening. If you want to avoid this stomach-turning surprise, fresh mushrooms or trusted brands with strict quality checks are your best bet. After learning what's allowed inside that tin, you may never look at canned mushrooms the same way again. And the next food on this list is even worse. Margarine. Margarine was sold to the public as a smarter, heart-friendly swap for butter, but its real story is far less comforting. Traditional margarine is made from vegetable oils that are chemically changed through a method called hydrogenation. This process turns runny oil into a solid block, but it also creates trans fats. These fats are dangerous. They raise bad cholesterol, lower the good kind, and are closely tied to heart disease, stroke, and swelling in the body. Even though many brands now claim to be low in trans fat, tiny amounts can still sneak in, especially in cheaper versions. It doesn't stop there. Margarine is a heavily processed product. The oils used to make it are pulled out with chemicals like hexane, then bleached to remove the color and deodorized to hide the smell. After that, fake coloring is added to make it look like butter. The seed oil is turned into a yellow block that barely counts as food. Compared to real fats like natural butter or olive oil, margarine feels less like a healthy choice and more like something built in a lab. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners promise sugar-free sweetness, but what you're really getting is a dose of chemical trickery. Common ones like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin are made in labs using synthetic ingredients most people can't even pronounce. These sweeteners are insanely strong. Some are hundreds of times sweeter than real sugar, so only a speck is needed. That might sound clever, but the effects on the body are where things get messy. Some studies suggest they can confuse your metabolism, mess with blood sugar control, and even raise the risk of insulin problems in type 2 diabetes. And let's not forget the gut. These fake sugars can throw off your gut bacteria, leading to bloating, stomach trouble, or worse. Some people also report headaches and dizziness after using them. There's still debate around whether certain artificial sweeteners could be linked to cancer, which keeps health concerns alive. There's still debate about cancer risks, keeping health worries alive. But beyond sweeteners, the next food on our list is even worse, and it'll blow your mind. Hot dogs. Hot dogs may look harmless at a cookout, but behind that shiny wrapper is a disturbing truth. These sausages are made from meat leftovers, fat, scraps, tendons, and parts of animals you'd never choose to eat on purpose. It's all ground into a mushy paste, pumped full of chemicals to shape and flavor it. To keep that pink color and long shelf life, companies add nitrites and nitrates preservatives that, when heated, can turn into cancer-linked compounds. That's right, just grilling a hot dog could make it more dangerous. But that's not all. Hot dogs are packed with salt, way more than your body needs. Eating them often can push your blood pressure through the roof and stress your heart. Even the casing is questionable, sometimes made from pig intestines, other times synthetic plastic-like skins. It's a cocktail of processed meat, chemicals, and salt disguised as a snack. Imitation crab meat. Imitation crab meat might look like the real deal, but what you're getting is far from fresh seafood. It starts with cheap fish like pollock, which is ground into a mushy paste called surimi. This paste is washed in bleach so many times it loses all trace of real fish. Then comes the lab work. Factories mix in starch from corn, wheat, or potatoes to make it thicker. Sugar and salt are tossed in to trick your tongue, and fake crab flavor, sometimes natural, sometimes artificial, gets added to complete the lie. But it doesn't stop there. Bright red food dye is painted on the outside to mimic the look of crab legs. By the time it's packaged, it's more like seafood-flavored Play-Doh than actual crab. And nutritionally, it's a downgrade. Less protein, fewer minerals, and a big hit of sodium that builds up fast. To keep it shelf stable, preservatives and additives are mixed in too. The worst part is, even though there's no real crab inside, it can still trigger allergic reactions for people with shellfish allergies. Maraschino cherries. Maraschino cherries are far from the fresh fruit they pretend to be. They start as pale, bitter cherries, stripped of their natural color and flavor, by soaking in a harsh, salty brine filled with chemicals. This bleaching process sucks out almost all their nutrients, leaving a tasteless, lifeless shell. After this, the cherries take a sugary bath in syrup made from sugar or high fructose corn syrup, soaking up more sweetness than any fruit naturally would. Then artificial flavors are poured on to fake the real cherry taste, while bright red dyes give them their shiny, unnatural glow. What's left is no longer fruit, but a candy-coated imposter packed with empty sugars and no real vitamins or fiber. These glossy red orbs, often found topping cocktails and desserts, sneak in a hefty dose of sugar with zero health benefits. They look like a treat, but they act like sugar bombs disguised as fruit. Knowing this, you might never want to add these flashy fake cherries to your food or drinks again. Did any of these foods surprise you more than the others? Will this change the way you shop or eat from now on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it.